Hey guys, this is a general reading for Taurus for July of 2021. So the rest of July 2021 and February of 2021. Taurus, I guess that Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you have significant placements in Taurus, if you are cross-watching for a Taurus, or if you're just really drawn to this video. Please keep in mind that energies are fluid, so some, none, or all of this may apply. It could have already happened. It could be happening now. It could happen in the future. I could read this as love. It could be career. I could read this as you. It could be someone else significant to you. So just take what fits. Leave the rest. Don't make it fit if it doesn't. Just take what applies. Thank you for those of you who have inquired about donations. PayPal information is in the description box below. For reciprocity of energy, if this resonates, just for giving back, giving and receiving. Also, I don't even know if I know what I'm saying, like donation information. Also for services, information is description box below. Read all of it, including the disclaimer. If you're interested in shamanic services, like a soul retrieval, looking at like your shadow contracts and illumination, like if just something's off in your energy, it's imbalanced, you need something that's not there, or something's there that shouldn't be there, or feeder tubes, cords, just really any imbalance in your energy. You go a little bit into the underworld as well sometimes if anything in there needs to come up. Destiny retrievals, like what is your possible destinies, any of that you're interested in, email me about that. I also do private light language and also CCT, which is crystalline consciousness technique. It works at a really high vibration. And it's really good for healing, manifesting, and transformation. So if, like, say, if you're trying to work through something and you don't know what that block is, CCT, like a session or a chart, is really good because it either just removes the energy, like it goes on a high level and then trickles down on the 3D and it removes it, and you just are able to move forward, or it brings it up so you know what it is and you can work through it and then move forward. Also, another way of giving back to me and for reciprocity of energy, if you can't donate during these times, or can't do a service with me, then please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It helps build the channel. It helps share the video so other people who need to see this video will see it. But it just means a lot to me. So it takes 2 seconds. Like, please like the video, comment on the video. It takes 2 seconds. And share if possible. Like I said, there's other people you don't even know that may need to see the video. Okay. So, I'm back. I know, like, I've gotten quite a few things about doing a Taurus reading. I actually did a Taurus reading, but something about it just didn't feel right. So I didn't post it. I might still in the future post it. I don't know. I just didn't really feel called to post it. So I'm sorry if I kind of disappeared. I went into like a little bit of a hermit mode for a little while. I had to really figure some things out, reevaluate some things about my life, career, what I'm doing, how I want to build this, what directions I want to build in. So I'll do a couple of videos on that. This channel will probably be changing slightly. And then I'll also be growing here, but also in person work as well. So I'll do a video on that, at another time, but really kind of had to just go within my own and work on some things and also see really where I want to go with some things. Hope you guys have been doing well. So anyways, let's get started with your reading. If I think of anything else, I'll say it or let you guys know. Sorry if my chair is squeaking. Now it's not just my desk that squeaks, but also my chair. I need to get a new chair. The other day I was sitting in it and it was like, it was already on its last leg anyways. It just like popped and now it's like barely hanging on the thing I'm sitting on. So if I just like flop off in the middle of this video, like just excuse me, I'll be back. Pretty much I have to get a new chair. So sorry if it squeaks. All right. So in the center of your reading, well, let me start off actually with the overall energy. So the overall energy of this reading is the World card. This is really about closing up a chapter and or really seeing a lesson to something. Like I said, I think I know where most of this is going to go. I have to try not to move. I know where most of this is going to go, but some of it, I'll have to channel and see. But this is really about, like I said, closing up a chapter, or even more so, seeing a lesson. And kind of just being more aligned and coming back to you, like the true you. And I'm getting a lot, even especially about the perception of it a lot too. So this has a lot to do with perception as well. And thoughts, and really what you're focusing on, what you're putting your energy into, your intentions, what you're wanting to manifest. Really just kind of it all being one. I'll give you a slight example of what I'm saying, and this isn't the only example, but of where just your perspective can kind of change. And here's an example how I'll use me as an example for you. I kind of realized in my life that around some people, or most people actually, especially growing up, before I realized like the patterns and why I hung out with certain types of people and stuff, I was really kind of more shy. It was more quiet, more like just my energy would be very just observant mostly, or scared to kind of come out of my shell or try different things. I just thought I was always that way, and I still am a little bit, but I thought I was mostly that way, and just kind of scared or embarrassed to do things, or I guess it could be confidence issues, or I just didn't really want to, or whatever. But I'm finding more now as I'm coming into my own and I'm around people that, for the most part, that I trust, or in some ways I actually like, or I feel like it's safe around them. Not that I'm like really worried about them doing anything, but you feel comfortable. I find that I'm not really a whole lot the way I used to be. I'm actually kind of goofy sometimes I'm serious. I'm still like healing that side of me and my inner child, but sometimes I'm kind of goofy and I talk a lot, and I am willing to try things. I mean, not a lot. I don't know. I'm not at the point where I'm like a huge adventurist or whatever it's called, but my energy expands basically, instead of staying like this and just observing and being more quiet. And I get where I could probably even be seen as like a Debbie Downer, kind of boring before in my past. And I realize now, like the more and more I'm realizing that and I'm looking at it, my wounds had me seeing that I wasn't interesting enough, or I wasn't good enough, blah, 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 whatever. When really the case is that I really actually wasn't feeling safe in my environment, and I really actually wasn't enjoying my environment, because of the fact that whatever wounds and misperceptions I had, it had me wanting to build and keep connections so much to the point that even if I wasn't enjoying the connection, I would still just try to like keep it going, just to like have the connection and build it. And I guess maybe even like me being quiet or watching was in a way me shape-shifting in order to do that. I don't really know. But it was really a revelation I had where I was like, I don't think I didn't feel safe. And then a lot of them, I really didn't actually enjoy who I was around. I just didn't know and see it because I was seeing through a different lens, right? Where now that I'm kind of more like, I don't care as much if people connect with me. I don't care as much if they like me. I'm able to see in a different way where I'm like, it's not that I don't like them, like I'm not like that, but they're not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? Because it's like they either don't feel safe, or I don't feel inspired to be me and open up for whatever reason. And I find that the people who I do like and who I do enjoy being around, I do open up. And I am more of my authentic and normal self. So I hope you guys get where I'm going with this, but it's kind of like that perspective where there's more cycles I'm going through, but that's the end of a huge cycle for me, because I'm just really realizing that some of the even really significant people in my life, I'm just sitting more and more and realizing like, I don't think I really, at the end of the day, actually enjoyed my time with them. I might have enjoyed some of the things I learned. I think I more enjoyed what I thought it was or what I wanted it to be. But I didn't really enjoy my time, which is why it always left me anxious or I didn't feel safe. What was the other thing I was going to say? I don't know. I'll think of it, but I just didn't really enjoy myself that much. And that was the other thing. And like even a couple significant people, I realized that it was actually never about them at all. Some of it was a little bit of mind games, some of it was about the wound, some of it was about, my own stuff and the push pull and just really not seeing properly, and the energy yanking and attachment, unhealthy trauma bond basically. But it was really like, it wasn't really them. It was not them that I was wanting, it was me. I was just trying to find me through them, or find those aspects of me through them, or complete those aspects of me through them. So much so that I was willing to not take responsibility for it myself, but yet stay in a situation that I really actually didn't like, which then ended up not being good for me. It was just a whole mind screw, so I really just didn't see it properly, but I've been seeing it more and more and more clearly now, to where that bond is releasing, to where I realize, it was really never them, that I was going after. It was me. It was me and my true authentic self. And also that it really was that nothing was wrong with me. Even if I wasn't shy, it still wasn't that anything's wrong with me. But even if, I just thought why am I always so shy? And it was because I didn't feel safe. And I was just around people that they just didn't really inspire me, and didn't really, I didn't feel safe or want to open up or be me or play with them, and that's not their fault. That's mine. And now I've just gotten a lot better to where when I see me doing that, I know myself well enough to know what I do when, when I'm in a good place or when I enjoy it, and you get the point, blah, blah, blah. So that perspective, right? That's a huge perspective thing. And yes, that will end up shifting the energy. It doesn't have to be that, but it's an example of that. Where it's just literally you're going to be seeing more differently, what is it that you really want, what's really important to you. I think that's where I was going with things coming together, because now, those pieces of my psyche are able to come together in my perspective, where even though my conscious is this is the way we're going, my subconscious before was no, we're going this way. And now they're starting to more come together, because my perspective and the way I'm thinking and the way I'm viewing things, and then that shifting the energy, they're all kind of going towards the same now. And it's releasing certain ways of thinking or being or behaviors or patterns or attachments or whatever. You get the point. So an end of a cycle, end of chapter, very big about lesson learned. So we'll see it kind of pop up again later, but very big of a lesson. And I'm getting hugely about perspective, which I don't know how, honestly, the world can not be perspective. So it's kind of a given a little bit. All right. So in the center of your reading, again, I'm sorry about my chair. We're going to have to deal with it for a minute. I have to go to the chair. Queen of Wands. I just want to think before I say on this. This definitely is you, I believe. It feels like you. It feels like, I get a huge, like I was saying over here, like a coming home, a coming to yourself, a feeling of belonging, and yes, to your environment and what's around you, and also with spirit, but mostly to yourself. It's like your inner spark. Your inner passion and confidence and enthusiasm, and just really excited again about like what you want to pursue and what you want to create and build and go towards. You know, she's just really focused and is getting excited and just kind of in her own space. So I don't know, maybe you guys have kind of been going through a similar energy as me, where you've just really been in your own space and reevaluating things. What actually is important? What do you really want? How do you want to go on about this and about things? Like just you, like, so that's kind of what I was saying with my experience of like, or my example of the perspective shift. Like, it's not anymore about other people or things or situations. It's about me. It's being excited about me. That's a very big truth, because it makes me kind of want to cry. Like, and I can feel it here and I can feel it in my gut. And because it is, and now you're doing these things for you and not for something else. And it's not just that you know you should be doing that, but you know your subconscious is still pulling you to it. It's kind of getting to a point where you're on the same page about it. Like, you know you should be doing that and you want to be doing that, because the misperception that you had before that was keeping you stuck or aligned to that is breaking or is no longer. You're coming to you. You're finding you. You're getting excited about you. You are your passion now. Maybe even your own muse, hopefully. Is a muse a good thing? I think so, right? Like, you can use that in a good way. I believe so. Anyways. This is a lot in the solar plexus. Your identity. Just really mostly kind of knowing who you are, and if there's any part of you that you don't know, which we're always figuring ourselves out, but you're getting excited now about figuring it out and finding and getting confident and working on those parts of you, which is leading to a type of ascension or growth. What's crossing you is the King of Swords. So this is one of the energies I'm not totally sure about. Sorry about the lighting. And it feels like a very different energy. It feels obviously very cold. So my initial response to this was that you now know, what to do. Also as guidance not to overthink things. Just have fun and be excited. Don't let the overthinking and the fear kick in. But there is a huge part of this that feels like somebody else's energy, like almost in a way of somebody watching. So it's kind of set up like this, like while it was crossing. So I sort of set them like that. So it's like, it's watching this person. You, basically, you're the Queen of Wands. Let me see. I feel like this is someone else who either knows you or likes you. I mean, they may like you and not know that much, or it could be somebody from the past. When I picked certain cards up just now, it was like the Knight of Wands, Two of Cups, and Justice. Trying to think of what I want to clarify this with. It just feels like it's a very like they're watching you either way, and it's very different than your energy. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, I guess, because yours feels very like warm and passionate and exciting. Let's just see. Tell me about the King of Swords. They're waiting and watching. To have patience and hostilities. That's what I'm saying. Like, on one hand, it feels like a very calm energy. Did I show you guys? I did, right? It feels like a very calm, very strategic energy. And then there's hostilities. Like, why hostilities? Angel of Strength. So they are having strength too by being patient, being strategic, but I more view that as you, which is weird because that's actually in your likely future. Because it's like you're getting stronger. Tell me more about hostilities. Why the hostilities? You are, and I don't have any flipped decks in this, or cards in this deck, but this one's flipped. Victory and Woman Holding a Heart. You are finding you again. You're finding your heart and finding your passion again. You're connecting into you and you're like pulling away. From the connection. What is their intention? This with you or the connection? Yeah, I was walking away. That's what came up before. It's almost like for one, this feels like a karmic test, to be honest with you. It's almost like they want you. I really don't want to be doing this type of reading, but a person or a situation in some ways wants you stuck. They really don't want you to get stronger. They really don't want you to find you or become more passionate. Why are they being patient? First chakra, why are they being patient? I think because they're not ready. They're like having to wait till the right time. Adjacent possibilities. There's something else going on. Either they're not ready, like their situation isn't quite ready, or they have other things that they're like, I don't know, maybe like their money's not right, or maybe they're like dealing with a situation like with a person. I don't really know. Maybe they're just like, I don't know, stuff with other people. But they're watching you though, and they feel you like slipping away and getting stronger to where you're almost like enticing. So it's almost like an exciting game. But at the same time, like they don't want you like that. Like their intention, when I ask what is their intention, is to walk away. Why is their intention to walk away? Yes, you have journey. In both, they're walking away. Their intention is not to stay. They want to just explore different things. They're about other options, other possibilities. Why would they want to walk away? And one more clarification. So you have woman holding a coin, man holding a coin. And then deceit. They might look at you as just like fun or a good time, or they just want to burst your bubble. I think they have some other connection that maybe they're with financially for financial reasons. Or they're just trying to wrap things up financially with a person. Why are they doing this? It's just something else they've created. Why their fascination with Taurus? Financial constraints. So whether they're looking at you for sexual reasons or they're actually having money issues, why are they interested in Taurus? Like I said, and that might be the security issue. Like they're not where they want to be. So they're trying to, like, maybe they're trying to build their strategy or build something up where they're able to come in a certain way or make things more believable in a certain way. I know it's not legit. I know that, at least not at this phase. So let's just move on from digging into this energy. I mean, unless they're still trying to get out of something and they're just having patience watching you. Like, it's almost like they'll just come in and kind of use you for what they want. Or they just still want to have all their options open. Or maybe like you're starting to get away to where they wouldn't be an option at all. To either go in and play with, get what they want from. Or at the end of the day, when either their options run out or they need somebody who's really going to be there, or when they're ready or whatever, ready to commit, whatever you want to call that, they want to keep you hanging on for that. But it's like you're kind of healing and pulling away, like you're finding yourself. So on one hand, like just the energy in this card is like, this person likes what they see. Like they like that you're almost kind of finding yourself. It's making you more intriguing. and more, I don't know if you want to call it more fun of a game. But on the same token, they don't like it. I mean, they do because it makes the game more fun. I don't know if it's like a narcissist or a narcissistic personality, but, or traits. Let's move on. In the foundation of the reading, you have 7 of Cups. Like, this person becomes confused and kind of in their emotions, and they don't know how to choose. Like, they don't know at that point what is best for them and what actually makes them happy out of those choices. So this could be the other person, or this could be you. To clarify this, there's size and there's joyfulness. But again, you have like that, sorry about the glare, that 3 of Cups energy. So it kind of brings you to a lower vibration. You're going to go into that size, what do I do kind of energy, where you're either going to go into an illusion again, or daydreaminess, or confusion. Yeah, like mental conflict, hostilities. And be brought into this option, not really commitment, like maybe even lustful energy. Like lustful in the idea of like play, but not really what you want. It's not, the play is not what you want, at least not in this way. You don't want it in a surface level way, just for fun anymore. Like, you want something a little more substantial. In the recent past, you have the Page of Swords. So I think this is a lot of the information that I was saying. Like, it could be someone watching you. Again, you have like 2 cards of watching you. But I think it's also you like learning. Like, here's you going from one side of the bridge to the other, one reality to the other. Like, Tauruses have been caught in the middle for a while, and you're like right, like that door we're always talking about, like you're like right at that point of learning and breaking through to the other side and being at a point where there's no looking back. You know, like what I was saying, like when I was realizing earlier that even things that I always really wanted, or, you know, maybe a person or whatever, I realized like it's probably not actually a potential, and it really actually didn't even make me happy. The only time that it did make me happy is when I was under an illusion, or like it was when like it was what I thought I wanted it to be, or like, you know, that first initial phase, it wasn't really actually what it was. It was kind of like the honeymoon phase, or the love bombing phase, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't what it actually really was. It was that chasing the dragon where you're always trying to get it back to that, but it's not, because it was never that. It was never that, you know, and I didn't realize that. So I think you like have been seeing things, and you're like right at that thing of learning information that's actually making you cross over that bridge, or cross into that new reality and that new dimension. Oh, jeez. In your crowning, or in your thoughts, you have the Chariot. And this is what I was saying. I think this is about your conscious and your subconscious coming together. The energy itself is just moving you at this point. Like, there's no lines or reins even on this. Like, he's not even controlling. I don't know if there's a way to get this clearer. I'm doing it at night. When it's at night, it doesn't. There he goes. He's not even holding on to any reins or anything. He's not controlling the horses. It's just the momentum itself is so in alignment that it's propelling it forward. Now, in your likely future, you have the Strength card. So this is not only strength of the situation around you, but being balanced within yourself of your own primal, lustful side and your evolved side, your light, your shadow, you know, your feminine, your masculine, whatever. Like it's more of a balance. There's definitely a healing in you coming into your own, though, as a King of Pentacles. Like coming back to truly you and feeling good as that. But let's see. Tell me about the Strength card. The Tower. Tell me more about the Strength card. Four of Wands. Something comes in. Chances are it's this person or this situation that's been watching you. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic either. It could be somebody like career-wise or friendship-wise, whatever. Why is this a Tower moment? Three of Swords. So, a lot of your old ways are going to possibly try to come back up. A lot of the ways that, which makes sense for like being in Mercury retrograde too. And then for Tauruses, I forgot what date it is, but the Mercury retrograde will also like square Uranus being in Taurus, which Aries is also there driving that like passion and that oomph to it. So it's a heavy energy for Tauruses for January and February for multiple reasons, for everybody, but it's honestly especially a Taurus. There might be aspects of yourself that you hadn't seen to heal before, or that you forgot, like they're coming back up for you to now work on. Maybe even parts of your heart and your heartbreak. I mostly get a lot too of really just seeing a lot of parts of yourself and coming back up. And even though you've been sitting here and like, okay, now you're in alignment, you're doing good, you're moving forward. This is why you're going to need this strength, is because you might be thrown a curveball. And it's something that is really going to pull on a wounded part of you, or maybe even something that your heart really wanted at a certain time, or that there were wounds in there that you didn't know. You thought you had healed your heart, but here's this other stuff, or you know, you thought that you were just like really doing really good, and here's these old parts of you coming back up to be like looked at and reevaluated again. And you're really going to have to sit with them and kind of consciously know better while also not judging them, just being like lovingly. But you're going to have the strength to know that either A, the situation isn't for you, or to know when to like go into your own space again and sit with this and heal this within yourself. There's something that may come up that needs to be healed. and a new perspective. And instead of either going with it, you know, if you do, it's okay, forgive yourself and just start over. But, like I said, either something's going to hurt really bad, or what I feel more so is there's just going to be this reemergence of an old side of you, of your old self, right? Because here's your past, where you're going from the old way of being to the new way of being, the old dimension, new paradigm, new way of thinking, new one. And you're almost there, ready to go into the new one. And not only is it someone maybe who's trying to hold you back and stop you, maybe on a higher level, like they contracted to be here for a spiritual test for you, but also this that's going to be coming up, like in this Tower, this Four of Wands and this Three of Swords, it probably can't come with you, or it's going to be holding you back from crossing over. So it probably needs to come up. And honestly, your heart is going to need to be like this in order to fully go over to the other side and be in that new way of being. Like, you're going to have to be able to be healed and be in a higher frequency and be able to stay in a higher frequency and be more aligned with what it is that you really want, and want higher vibrational things. Like, really to be sure, like, what is it that you want, and to be sure of it. And obviously this is probably a last little bit of doubt. Like some part of you that's still there, because for this Tower to come in and then the Four of Wands, you know, the Four of Wands is like something that, no, go. I'm trying to do a reading. No, I don't have a lot of room. The Four of Wands is something that you really wanted coming in, and something that you really been waiting for coming in. I guess it could be something like not coming in, and that breaks your heart. I think you're gonna, I think it's more though that you're gonna have to have strength to not get pulled back into your old you, to not be pulled to a lower vibration. I think that there's probably a good chance that not only are you going to have to see another part of you and work through and heal this part, but you know, maybe this is a part of you having to even like break your own heart, you know, just for like the betterment of you, the healing of your soul, basically. To remember all you've learned. It's almost like a, you know, like if you look at this Strength card, it's probably gonna be kind of a long reading. You know, it's the primal, lustful animal. Like when you were before, this is the side you were in, was more the lustful, animalistic, not so evolved thinking, you know, more on your primal desires or your subconscious patterns or learning or whatever. And then you have the more evolved side of thinking. It's going to kind of be a struggle between the two. And it's going to be really that test or that time to come in for you, not only to look at that side of you with a different lens. So that would be interesting when that comes up, is to observe that side now with a set of fresh new eyes. But to also, even though you know it's coming up, even though you know it's tugging on your heart in a way because it's an old part of you, you don't allow your emotions to pull you around. which is why I wrote, there was like a couple different notes I wrote on this paper. Master your emotions. So I'm trying to think if I should just say all of them now. Learning the lesson and leveling up. Master your emotions. Remember what you've learned. Choose your battles. Do you want this to be a battle, or do you want to level up and have like a higher level of battles? Like, life's already going to throw you curveballs. The best thing you can do is decide to make better choices in your life to at least make it easier, instead of having life throwing you stuff. And I don't mean just this, but like, say if you were with this person and their life is chaotic, now you have life throwing you things and this person makes your life chaotic. And that's when things really get bad. You can heal and learn from darkness and light. So choose to see by facing your fear and doing what you don't normally do. Meaning, you don't always have to walk into the dark only to heal. Somebody can heal by walking towards this if it's not that great. You might chance getting stuck though and not learning, or you might dive deeper before you go back up. You can absolutely learn the same, and sometimes, a lot of times, even more by walking towards, here's the way I'm trying to say. Sorry, my card fell over. Say if you like wanted to learn a lesson with a person, right? But you wanted to do things differently another time around. And you feel that part of the reason that things didn't go well, or that you wanted to have a do-over, was because you weren't really able to like work through your blocks with somebody, right? Or they just made you kind of be or act in a certain way that you're like, why did I do that? Or maybe if I do it different, things would turn out different, blah, blah, blah. Rarely is that the case, by the way. Yes, I guess you can learn that way too. More times than not, it ends up being a trap. But you can learn and then just do something different. Maybe it'll work out. Maybe it'll just be like, never mind, you walk away and you have the satisfaction of that. But a lot of times it's really hard to break through blocks by being in a situation that is the same or similar to what gave you the blocks in the first place. It is possible. It's just not usually as possible. It usually plays mind games, and especially if you're sensitive to energy, it can kind of suck you into that. Instead, by this I mean choosing I hope you're following me, but by choosing a decision of light, you can choose to go and make a decision into a direction that you've never made before, that has a high likelihood of being a good thing for you, but it as well is going to pull up those same blocks. Just not in a way of somebody trying to hurt you, sabotage you, or play games with you, or a situation or whatever. It's just going to pull them up by you having to level up, basically. Like, as you level up, your blocks have to surface and rise too. So you have more control over them. It's something that pays off better for you. It's, it usually works out a little bit better. And like I said, it's usually the thing that hurts you doesn't heal you for the most part. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to go on. So maybe just choose different. You know what I mean? Choose a different path, which is kind of what's coming up here too. Like, be wise enough and have learned enough to choose a different path. Maybe even be abundant enough to where you're like, no, this journey is about me right now with this Queen of Wands. And you know that if this situation is right for you, it'll still be right for you when you're done with the journey of doing whatever you're doing. Like, this part is about you right now. It's not about someone or something else. and you've already tried that path and it didn't work out well for you. You're sitting here in the Three of Swords, waiting and waiting, and it's affecting you. Right when you get to that point of getting your confidence back and crossing over to the other side or leveling up, boom, it comes right back in. Almost as like a, are you ready? This can't go with you. Are you abundant enough to know that if it's meant to be, it'll still be? But you're basically going to choose you, like to choose you, and know that chances are with this type of person's energy, you can't, or it's going to be very hard, or you're not ready yet to be able to do this. You can't continue with this journey of things being about you. So it may not even be at the end of the day about this person. It is, but it isn't. It would be about the old you versus the new you. Those would be your two paths. Can you go back to being that person or in that old way? Or do you decide to heal that or let it go and say, this is what I want to choose to create. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to discover and explore. And realize and make that final decision and aha moment that this really is or isn't what you want. Either way, a chapter closes out. At least for a little while. Including the perspective that goes along with it. Because you'll be choosing this. I would recommend, personally, at least at this point in the phase, to not go towards this person or whatever this King of Swords energy represents. Because they really actually don't want to be, they either don't want to be or can't be committed to you right now. And this phase of your journey is all about being committed to you. So if anybody or anything is not committed to you, they don't have as much commitment to you as you have to you. Of course, they have to commit to themselves too to make it healthy. You get what I'm saying though? But if they don't have the same level of commitment to you that you are having to yourself, they don't fit in your picture right now. There are things that you are developing within yourself. It's almost like a little baby, a little spiritual baby. Maybe you have a baby. Maybe you do have a baby. Some of you might be pregnant. Whatever. But it's almost like a little spiritual baby that's inside of you or within your energy, whatever, that you need to protect like no other. And I don't say that in a fearful way. I say it in a way that you're literally at a point of going to a transition or going from a way of an old to a way of a new, or a way like shifting and leveling up. And when that happens, you do have to kind of protect yourself at all costs, energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that. You do need to be in your own space. And that is usually when things start to come in, whether it's the universe sending you opposing forces, whatever, or at the very least, just people kind of, there's certain people or situations that you can tell when somebody has that energy of they're kind of sitting on a spiritual ball, like a spiritual baby. And there's something going on. You know what I mean? The energy is drawn. And clearly the energy is, the attention is on you. So you really do need to protect yourself right now. If you're wanting to and you're okay with going back to what was, and there's nothing wrong with that, if it's finally coming in and it's everything you ever thought of, then congratulations, you know, go back and do what you need to do. And if it wasn't that, you are wrong, who cares, rebuild and go again. I feel for most of the Tauruses here, A, they're going to want to keep focusing on themselves, and B, because I think that's why I was guided to say that in the beginning, I think you're realizing that what you're wanting and what will actually make you happy and what you're vibrationally in alignment with and what you're wanting to vibrationally go towards is not what it used to be. And there's just more and more that's aligning with you on that. And from a spiritual perspective, you can look at it like that last little bit that's coming up that just has to go because it can't go where you're going. You have to know and be fully committed. And there may be something slightly in you that needs to be that final decision of which way are you committed? Are you committed to you? Or are you still committed to somebody or something else? And I mean that in the sense of committed to something else in a way that of chasing it and it's not about you, and at the end of the day it really doesn't benefit you. It just makes you feel insecure. It's never really going to be there. It's never going to help you grow. As opposed to something for you that you are spiritually creating, you are spiritually giving birth to, you are spiritually, it's growing, and its growth gives back to you, right? That abundance, that feminine energy, that empress energy, that. But the way she does that is by committing to herself, committing to her babies, her creation. Why do I keep saying babies like that? Babies. Anyways, her babies, her creation, her. You get what I'm saying? So you're going to have strength during this time. How you see yourself is the devil. So maybe kind of feeling stuck, maybe feeling manipulated. I mean, I guess you could be thinking of how you want to do the Chariot energy. What is this? Because your energy feels more like the Chariot. So why would you be seeing yourself as the devil or the energy of the devil? There's a part of you there's still a part of you that you're suppressing or that's coming at you, that you're not wanting to see or look at, that you've pretty much kind of blocked off. I don't want to say it in a way like when people spiritually bypass. Some of them know they're doing it and some of them don't. There may be a tad bit of a spiritual bypassing. Would it also even be like imposter syndrome? Let me see something. Hold on. Let's see what imposter syndrome is. refers to an internal experience of believing that you are not as competent as others perceive you to be. While this definition is usually narrowly applied to intelligence and achievement, it has links to perfectionism and the social context. So it might actually apply the imposter syndrome. A psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their skills, talents, or accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. Either way, there's a part of you that is purposely, like the vibe I'm getting is that it's purposely like trying to keep yourself in this little bubble, which in a way is keeping you like, oh, I'm doing good. Oh, I'm enlightened. I'm healed. I'm over it. No, I don't want you. No, blah, blah, blah. But you're blocking out all these other like passions or things coming at you, because if you were really that healed or really that content or really that strong, you wouldn't be able to you wouldn't have to block them out. You would be able to just face them and deal with them. So there's a part of you that you're ignoring or trying to block out because it controls you. That's how you see yourself. Even though you're doing good and there's a lot of actions that are showing otherwise, and maybe even your beliefs mostly show you otherwise, there's still something that controls you. And, you know, maybe that needs to come up, because you need to face it and you need to learn to master your emotions. Because if not, your emotions are going to master you. They're going to control you. What's in your environment is you have the King of Cups. So I think there are some of you that might have two people. To choose between, or two paths between two people. Some, this might actually be the same person, where although they're watching you and a little bit cold, they have a great handle on their emotions. And that's what came up when it said master your emotions. And I wrote, especially because this guy, and it was pointing to this guy, has their emotions so mastered, or at least in their mind that they think, there's actually a part they don't, but they have it mastered enough, or disconnected enough, if you will, to where they know how to master and manipulate other people's emotions. And that might be what they're bringing up in here with you with this Three of Swords. They know how to master or manipulate the mental and emotional realm. You know, and that's why you're going to have strength. And that's why you're going to have enough courage. That's another thing with the Strength card, is courage. You're going to have enough courage to really look that part of you and that part of your fear and that emotion, maybe even heartbreak, whatever it is, in the face and sit and feel through it. Because it might even be something that they don't expect you to do or even think about. And that's where you really can shine through, is by being willing to use all the tools and all the things you've learned to really sit through that part of yourself and love and be with that part of yourself and have compassion, but still know what's best for you and what's not, and be able to do what's best for you or what's not, even though a huge part of you might be pulling you in another direction. You know, it might go deeper than that. I don't know. But you're going to have to make a decision. You have the Lovers. You're going to have to choose you. Remember, I keep saying the Empress. Like, here's the Lovers. Here's your decision. This intense connection. Choosing you, because here's your spiritual belly. And the Star. Like, healing, connecting to yourself again. But healing this feeling. How they see you, or your environment sees you, is the Eight of Swords. They know, like, you're trapped. They see you as that you're not strong enough, and that you won't be able to, like, see, or that they can easily pull an illusion over your eyes. And basically that they can make you see what they want you to see, while at the same time making it to where you can't see, if that makes sense. Like, you can't see reality. You just see what they want you to see. It's very much a magician energy. But not in the greatest of a way. What you want is the Ten of Pentacles. Like, you want this commitment. You want this thing that grows for a long time. It's a long investment. It's loving. It's caring. It gives back. Return of investment. It will be there. It will stand the test of time. Stability. Loyalty. What you fear is you have death, rebirth. So it could be like Scorpio energy. You have the King of Cups. You have the death, rebirth. I don't know if I have anything else with that, but what I more saw and thought when I saw this was like getting lost again. Like, my attention got drawn into this and just being like swept away, like ungrounded, like becoming lost and ungrounded and just not here, like not here where you are, where you're starting to find yourself again. And you're finding this little essence of you and growing it. It's like pulling you into another realm again, which is not where you were intending to go, not where you're wanting to go, not in your best interest, and basically is meant to just kind of trap you and confuse you, which, yes, could lead you back to yourself, sometimes even in a better way. But that's what I was saying before about choose your battles. Like, you're kind of at a phase in your journey where you don't have to go that really hard, dark, gruesome route anymore. I mean, sometimes, yes, life's going to throw you those curveballs, and when they do, you'll be strong enough and you walk that journey. But you don't have to choose that route to learn anymore. You should be evolved enough to be able to choose a higher route for yourself that is more along what you want to manifest, and that not only will heal you because it's going to bring up your blocks all the same, but it will help you grow even more, because you will just keep growing and expanding, grow and expand, and you won't go down and then up a little, down and then up a little. Like, you'll just keep going. For the most part, you get what I'm saying. Like, you should be at a point now where you don't have to keep choosing those old heartbreaking patterns or lessons, or being thrown into the depths of darkness to find you. And if you do, that's fine. Shine your light within and find your way back. But it's just literally about, like, like I wrote here, like, choose your battles. Like, this is not a battle you have to do. You don't have to choose this again. chances are, at least right now in this point of your life, it's not going to work out in your favor anyways, but you're more than welcome to walk that route. It's really, really guiding you to choose a different way. And yes, it may be completely unknown, but you're going to grow. You're going to gain more confidence. You're going to heal a lot of these wounds. It may hurt a little bit at first, but it will heal you, and you will grow, and you will gain confidence, and you will gain a level of coming back home to yourself and a trust in yourself like never before, because you were willing to do what hurts for the betterment of you. Like you were that committed. And I know that's a little hypocritical or going against what I was saying, but not really. You know, I'm saying that either way it's going to hurt. It's just, do you want to really be slammed to the ground and go to that confusing, I don't know what's going on part, and it's longer and it keeps growing and you lose and lose more parts of yourself, and it's really just gruesome and shadowy and not in that beneficial way? Or do you want to choose to be like, I'm so committed to myself that I'm willing to kind of like look me in the face. I'm willing to walk through that fire for me. Not the one that's to put you at a disadvantage. Like this person, a lot of their energy, I don't know if they straight up want you to be at a disadvantage. Some might not. Some of them might get a little bit of an ego boost if they were able to bring you down, like I'm that significant. Some of them just don't think that far ahead, and you're just like a fun toy, or maybe they even think they want to be with you, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It doesn't matter really at the end of the day. The point is that their commitment really isn't with you. It really isn't with anybody. I think there is one other person or situation, it could even be their job, that it's more committed to than you. But the commitment is not with you. That's all you need to know. And if they think they are, some might think they are and they're really not. Some may know they're not and they're just playing with you. It doesn't matter, but it's not. And there's a part of you that needs to kind of pass that test of, even though this person is going to try to come in and blind you and make you confused, one thing that they're not betting on with you is A, you being strong enough, because in the past you may not have been, or may not have chose yourself, or just been like swept away, you know, in the energy or the spell of it or whatever. But you weren't connected to yourself before. So they can take away their sight, your physical sight, all they want. I mean, hopefully not literally, but you know what I'm saying? And they can even try to mess with your emotions. But they may not know what's in your toolbox, and they may not know how you can truly go and connect to yourself and listen to your intuition and feel the energy of it. Energy does not lie. The person might lie. The reality might lie on what is painted to you, what is presented to you in this. Is it a mirror? Is it a pond? I think it's a mirror. I don't know. But energy does not lie. And even if the person's a good person, like if they're energetically do not feel fully there, no matter what they're saying, you need to listen to yourself this time and do what is best for you. Whether this is a job, a friendship, a family member, an ex-lover, a new lover, I don't really know. It's just really coming in as, what have you learned, remembering what you've learned, and can you handle that responsibility of leveling up? And can you be that committed to yourself that you're willing to walk through that fire? And that's going to be different for different people. But for most people, it's going to be the illusion of possibly having everything that you thought you would want, or like it came in, and you just knowing like either something's not right, or it's not going to be what you think it is, or it's just a minute, or something else is going on, even if it's not even that bad of a situation, just something's not right, or that it's just not even what you want anymore, that you want more, or that you just want to even focus on yourself maybe right now. Like this is just, you're really all about like you and your journey and your manifestation and just whatever this baby is, this spiritual baby. That's where your focus is. And maybe you just realize you can't do both of these at the same time, or that it just wouldn't mix well with what you're doing, whatever the situation is. But it would just distract you, make you unfocused, it would confuse you. And just either way, something in your soul is so strong at this point that you'll know, like you'll know you're not the person you used to be. And that's okay if you choose to go with it. Just at this point, it's a conscious decision. So you can't be like, oh, I didn't know, you know? So either way, you just go with whatever and you make that conscious decision. But either way, in your likely future, so your likely outcome is the Strength card. Your likely future is you have the Magician. And she's still, again, she's on her own, kind of focusing on herself. And she's like manipulating that energy, like what I was talking about. I think that your likely outcome is that you have strength about the situation and you choose to stay on your journey that you were on. For whatever reason, it's going to be different ones. The person could be amazing, but just for right now, you can't focus on them, or you just feel something off with them, or they can't commit right now. You can't commit right now. Whatever it is, I think you choose to stay on whatever journey you're on, and you manifest that. And clarifying that, you have the stars. A long journey brings rewards. So, I mean, maybe this person comes in and you're finally able to manifest with them. Let's pull a little bit more on the Magician. Tell me about the Magician and the likely outcome. Yeah, so yeah, that's funny. You have the Star and the Stars, both clarifying this. Here's the Star card, so you connect more to you. And then you have the Stars. A long journey brings rewards. Like you finally heal this underlying energy to where you don't have to like keep things at bay anymore. They're not going to control you. You don't have to ignore it. It's literally just healed within inside of you. And you're able to just fully be on this journey and manifest. Tell me. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you had the Queen of Cups earlier. So another clarification of the Magician, High Priestess, and Judgment, right? I mean, come on. You go full on into you, full on into your leveling up intuition, kind of like your badassness, to be honest with you. You're just connected. You're full on connected, right? You're connected to yourself and your higher self, which same with the Star, right? She's connected to her higher self and to source. Boop, 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 boop. When this happens, this part of you that stands in the way of this connection, which is loved, but it's no longer needed, right? It's not a part of you. It gets released back. You now see and come more into yourself, and that part, that this is more the new you, and the old part of you, it goes, it's healed, it's gone. It's freed. This part of you that was keeping you trapped really in a way that was uncomfortable for you or anxious for you or just not you, that one that just keeps you in this Eight of Swords energy forever, it's healed and released. And you're now more free and you're more connected to your actual self, your higher self, source, universe, and all of that. So that's really cool. All right, let's see all these other cards. I think we're almost done, so most of my Taurus is like long readings though, but so some other cards is you have the Maiden, a new relationship blossoms. Don't get too excited. You have the Dagger, conflict and danger lie in wait. To clarify this, you have the Wolf, beware who you trust. And you have the Dragon, strength and wisdom again. So strength, not again, but basically strength and wisdom. So this Dagger also kind of looks a lot like the Ace of Swords. And then you have locked doors can now be opened. And to clarify this, you will be guided through the darkness. So this moon, which is very much that high priestess energy up there, locked doors can now be opened. This is because you're accessing another part of yourself. It's almost like because you passed this test or you chose to really be committed to you or whatever, you do level up. And on one hand, although it's beautiful, there's a part of it that you're like, oh my God, you don't know how to navigate that. It may or may not be uncomfortable, but you don't know how to navigate it. There's you literally now cross over into this other side. There really is no going back. And that doesn't mean like, oh, that's never there. It's just this part of you that was over here was released. So that there's no going back in that part of you. You have released that part that was like dangling on. That was that old part of you. And you healed it and basically like freed it and released it. There's a better word I'm trying to think of, but I don't know. It's kind of along the lines of like freed, but whatever. And so it might be a little dark for you because you're going to go into like this intuitive state. You might have a new level of gifts opening up. There's almost like this feeling also of that level can't be accessed. Not only because as long as that energy was still there, you couldn't go into this new level, whether it was frequency wise, it was keeping you too low. You couldn't raise to that frequency. But also there's a level of responsibility with it. This new level has a level of responsibility. And besides they need your frequency to be able to stay high, to access and stay there, you also need to be able to have a level of discipline and responsibility. It's not a type of power, if you will, for lack of better words, that everybody has access to. So you have to be able to like go off what you learned, listen to your intuition and what you feel, but also be able to be willing to maybe even look at your fear in the face, or be able to look at, you can't be controlled by, your emotions basically, and let other things, your lower instincts, run you. Because when you go into higher dimensions like that, or you go into other like gifts and levels like that, you're going into not only more like beautiful, like cool things, you're also opening up into other things that also now see you. You know, your light is now shining brighter. They can see you more now. They're more attracted to you more now. So you need to stay in a higher vibration, not only to protect yourself and access those realms, but also there's responsibility with it. But it could possibly do you more harm to have a lot of those abilities and be able to be pushed around, if that, you know, makes any sense. You're better off, like from a spiritual father or mother perspective, you would be better off for them to keep you slightly naive or cut off, because it would protect you, right? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, same way, like kids, we a lot of times try to keep certain information from them until they're ready, or until they've shown they're ready, or until they show they can handle the responsibility of it. Because if it happens too soon, a lot of times it can do them damage, or it can hurt them in various ways. So it's similar, right? As above, so below. So your advice cards are, I gotta unpack all this. The Ten of Swords and the Nine of Wands. So really ending this cycle, at least, you know, mentally, and what's going on, and keeping your light shining, and really kind of healing, having spiritual endurance, but having boundaries. Like, she almost looks in this Ten of Swords like here's these crows guiding her, you know, in this unknown phase. And she's like, she's walking to that other level, like, and she's being guided, and you have to have boundaries during that. So cards to clarify this is, you know, you have like the stars, cosmos, whatever. I think it's star. You have a lot of star energies. And I feel like this is that higher level. You have high honors. This is like, let's see if we can get it to focus. Yeah. This is a knight who's done all of what he's supposed to do and has passed his tests. And he's being sworn in to becoming, I don't know, I think a knight. You know, where they put like the sword on each shoulder and all that. Because they showed they had honor and respect. They passed the test, basically. And then you have like, you know, the journey, where it's like split. Like, you basically chose right. And everybody's is going to be different. So whatever your path is right for you, like you chose the different way. You learned the lesson, basically. I think you know that, like, the other cards that come up. So you have Griffin to honor and luck. So this matches the honor card. You have frivolousness. I think you, no matter what was being presented to you, you know that this energy is lighthearted and not serious. And this time around, I think you chose to protect your heart instead of receiving the red flags and putting your heart on the line anyways. It's not serious. And you have old woman, and I think what this is saying is, like, you've learned your lessons. Like, this lady is full of knowledge, right? Like, she's been there, she's been around, she knows how to, like, read things. She's And then there's cheerfulness. So again, here's your Three of Cups energy. And then you have reunion. She's kind of looks like she's rejecting it, but I think you see that it's not serious and you're just going to be brought into an energy you don't want to, whether it actually is a third party situation, whether it's just they're really committed to something else and it's not you, and you need and deserve more than that. And you know, at that point, it's going to push you back into the energy of servant, of you chasing and you doing all the legwork. Like, not that Empress energy where, yes, you give. Empress gives too. Like, she knows how to support the Emperor. They know how to support the King, right? But they definitely know their worth and they know how to receive back. Like, the Empress doesn't chase. And the Empress knows that if she has to chase or she has to convince somebody, then it's not for her. Anything that puts her in a servant role, I mean, unless maybe you're like playing in the bedroom a little bit or whatever, but you get what I'm saying? Like, the main energy of everything. This is not who you are anymore. And that's what this would do. It would put you back into a lack mentality. It would put you back into a not knowing your worth mentality. And it would put you back into, instead of you chasing your dreams and being there and committing to you and developing and growing this little spirit baby, all your attention would be into growing, chasing, and trying to maintain whatever this is. And I think that's the way the person would want it. I think that's the point of them kind of walking away, is not only to do what they want to do. I think they wanted to switch the energy to where you were like focusing on them and coming after them again, and then pulling away and doing whatever else they go do. And then 2 other cards to clarify all this of the advice cards, and then like the Star, the High Honors, the 2 paths, is you have Saturn, which is all about paternal, but lessons, karma, also time. Maybe it's time to come back to you. But, and then you have Coin, like your abundance, your worth. Like, this cycle is about you finding you, coming back to you. Like, it's karma, it's a lesson, and it's also saying like, good job. Like, Saturn, yes, can sometimes be a little bit of a like an annoying energy, but Saturn also very much rewards hard work. They're not as much of that abundance just because like Jupiter is more a little bit like that. But they are very much about rewarding hard work and it paying off. And this is about knowing your worth, learning the lesson, and like that abundance coming back to you. This other path, even if it's like an almost type situation, is really that thing at the end of the day that no matter what it looks like has an energy behind it of being exactly the opposite of everything you've been working for and moving from. It's not about you. It's not about your healing. It's not about your excitement. It's about more of like a trauma bond. It's about making you chase and go out. It's just the opposite. It's enough said on that. It's just an opposite of everything you've been working for. And you're not that person anymore. And if you are, like, whatever, but I think it's just the first time you really see it, that you're just like, I'm not this person, and this isn't going to fit with who I am anymore. You just see that it's not realistic. It just doesn't fit. And you start to take action and put it into you and your cycles and what you're building and what you want to manifest. and all of your energy that, you know, you were putting into this person, or even if for the most part you didn't because you were done and over with, a small part of you was still given energy to. You're now completely giving to yourself and whatever this is that you're wanting to build and do and create. And I think you just make that choice. The third card that wants to come up with this. Yeah, I think it's the Eight of Cups. I think, and then you emotionally, like, while you have like 888 that was coming up. I knew there was like another 8 that wanted to come up. So any of you resonate with 888, but this action comes in. You decide to focus on you and what you've been building and what you're doing. And emotionally, you just let go of that last little bit that was hanging on. And you walk, you know, walking towards that sun, which is here. Like, it's like a sun that they're kind of walking towards. So let's pull. Oh, yeah, look, right after I'm feeling the sun. Boop. Walking towards the sun. Right under that's the moon. With the Three of Cups. That Three of Cups, Five of Wands. I'm telling you, one of these paths is going to be, it's going to lead you to the sun type energy. So some of you might have Leo too, because there's Strength and the sun. But one of these paths is going to lead you to the sun. And the other path is going to lead you to confusion, being all in your emotions, multiple energies, conflict, and you sitting around waiting. And somebody who's in and out and just really doesn't know what they want, and you really can't see. You don't know what's up from down anymore, and you're sad, and then there you are, justice, and it just, no. One's really good, and one really sucks, to be honest. So, all right. I feel like I want to pull an oracle card and then be done. Just trying to think of what I want it to be. Not really being called the normal shaman one. I don't know if the fairies really want to talk. Where's my thing up? I'm thinking, or testing, so hold on. I don't know. I guess we'll try pulling a plant medicine. It's called the Celtic or Celtic, I think it's Celtic Tree Oracle. So let's see. So again, for donation from information, if this has resonated with you or helped you out, my PayPal information is in the description box below. Service information, description box below. If you're interested in shamanic services, personal light language, or the crystalline consciousness technique, the CCT, which I described in the beginning of the video, email and let me know. I don't have that up yet in my description box. And please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please like and comment. It takes 2 seconds. Okay, and please share the video. Subscribe. If you think you're subscribed, please double check. A lot of times, not just with my channel, but others, people think they are and they've been taken off. So just double check, okay? What advice or cards do you have for Taurus for January and February of 2021? It's Alim, A-I-L-I-M, silver fir pine. Totems is eagle and owl, so seeing things from a higher perspective. The Great Mother in her many forms. Keywords, foresight, higher perspective, inner vision, the higher self, higher dimensions, unseen realm, clear vision, progress, insight. Exactly. So I'm going to read the first paragraph and the one in the reading. This Alim, I don't know how you say that, A-I-L-I-M, silver fir represents clear-sightedness. She helps us see the big picture. We are encouraged by her to learn from our past mistakes and make new choices. That's crazy. Make new choices based on a higher perspective. I really am pretty good. Well, my guides are good. She asks us to take the longer view. This tree offers us a spiritual infusion of understanding and brings us insight and expanded awareness. Fir holds the love of the great goddess. She can heal and support us through any situation. The wisdom of this tree encourages us to take the high road and to apply the words and ways of spirit. This tree is especially helpful as we make resolutions of any kind and speaks to the turning of the wheel after the winter solstice. The ogham for this tree is Ilam in the letter A. This fir asks you to imagine climbing the tallest fir or pine on the highest mountain and become the eagle looking out from its branches. From this wide perspective, your personal worries and concerns seem comparatively small. From here, you can see your situation from the larger view of spirit. Take it in. How do things look from this perspective? Fir reminds you that you have a choice as to how you respond to your life situations, the rewards and the challenges. Fir encourages you to take the high road, to rise above the mundane and seek a higher understanding. In order to do this, you are encouraged to spend some time in silence as you seek clarity. The words and ways of spirit are not the ways of the world. You can become the expression of these higher words and ways. The test, of course, is applying them to your daily life with all its ups and downs. Are you willing to do this? Are you willing to share your wisdom with others? You are promised divine assistance. This tree offers you spiritual understanding, the unconditional love of the Great Mother, and healing. Close your eyes, breathe, and receive this infusion of love. You are encouraged to let go and allow Spirit to show you the way. Well, allow Spirit to show you the way. This does take some humility, but it also takes courage to follow the path of love. This is not a religious set of rules or requirements. The question is, what would love do here? So I'll read the message too, because it's pretty interesting. I am the stately silver fir or pine. See how I sit on a tall mountain and look out over the beautiful valleys and hills. See how I grow towards the heavens and stand tall. I encourage you to take a look at your life from the top of my branches. Here you can see the past, yes, but you can also look ahead to the future. In the future, you may see many choices. Which one attracts you? Imagine yourself having made that future choice. What are you doing? What do you love? Who are you with? Now look back at yourself at the top of the tree. Allow your future self to speak. What does it have to say to you? Allow the wisdom from your future self to dream you and reawaken you. Let your future self inform you as you make new choices and new resolutions, which in turn will move you towards the future that pleases you. I actually did that recently, where I chose to kind of like communicate with my higher self, or step into that energy and see what it would have to say to me. So that's actually a pretty, good thing to do, actually. You get a lot of insight, and you also kind of externalize it like it's not you. So as it talks, like, you realize you actually like kind of do know a lot of the stuff. Either way though, I love you guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell. Only takes 2 seconds. It's a way of giving back. Donation information below. Service information below. Shamanic services, CCT, and private light language. Email me about. I don't have up there yet. So love you guys. I hope you're doing well, and I'll be seeing and talking to you soon. Bye.